Hey everybody, today is the day. Arby's venison sandwich. That's right. Picked it up, just the sandwich. I already had water ready to go. Give it a real quick swig here. Today only, Arby's is serving venison sandwiches. So, here's the sandwich. Right there. I guess, let's see here. They poked LTO. I don't know what that is. Unless it's just like a specialty. And here, we're popping it open. It's got some kind of fancy paper on it. We'll pop it out. Now, the person behind the counter indicated that today they're trying to see whether or not the venison sandwich is popular overall. That way they'll continue the actual production of the product. So here we have the venison sandwich. Now let's pop it open and see what we have. Okay, there's a little bit of, I guess it's a barbecue sauce. Maybe it's the Arby sauce. And they put on what appear to be onion rings, or maybe it's those French's onion rings. I'm not sure, but those are the onion rings and the sauce. It might be Arby sauce, I'm not sure, but here is the patty. Now the patty overall is relatively small. You know, it's based upon cost and what have you. And that's what it looks like. And there's sauce on the bottom as well. Let's take a look at that. Yep, there we go. There's that sauce on the bottom. There's that sauce on there. Now, we're going to go for the big bite. It's a relative... I think that's what they call a brioche bun. It's really soft though. So here we go. Arby's venison sandwich. It's been a real long time since I've had venison. I come from a family of hunters. But it's been quite a long time since any of them have been out hunting. But well, let me take another bite here. I'm not really sure if I want to call it a gamey taste. It just has this unique flavor that says almost in the sense that, you know, I'm ready for that next sandwich as I'm eating the sandwich. There's the cross section on it. Hopefully you can see it. I'm in real bad lighting. It's just all day bad. So that's what it looks like there. And I don't know. It's just a really good sandwich. Now, obviously, being, you know, today only, I know that there's probably going to be other reviews on this, hopefully. But and this is something else. The sauce, it's not necessarily Arby sauce. I didn't get the information, but it is a good complement to the overall sandwich. The brioche bun, if that's what it is. The onions, there probably weren't enough of them to make any significant effect, and they're not even crunchy. So, well, take an upside down examination there. The meat in and of itself doesn't necessarily look like a traditional meat. Considering, well, hopefully that this is, I'm not sure if it's farmed, but if, maybe if it was generously donated, or rather financed hunters to go out and catch wild game, then it'd have been a different story. It's usually very lean, very tender, and this is very lean and very tender. The funniest thing, though, is that most of the restaurant crew were dressed up in camo, but it wasn't hunting camo. It was Vietnam era combat camo. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. And you got to give them some credit, because they were women. They didn't understand. They don't obviously have combat experience or hunting experience, but they did the best they could with the availability of the camouflaged material in the area through the retailers. You have to give them that. But overall, it was just funny to see them. And typically when retailers do camo, they always have Vietnam era combat camo. So it's, they did the best they could. But here we go with that sandwich. Effectively, I've gotten all the meat out of the sandwich that I could. I'm just down to the bread and what's left of the sauce and the onions. And that was it for that sandwich. The sandwich in and of itself was so moist and juicy that I barely had to have any kind of drink to go along with it. But I am, and just to clear things up here, So what did I think about that? Well, quite frankly, I have to give it 2 thumbs up. That sandwich was awesome. The meat was tender, juicy. The sauce, I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it complemented it very well. And the onions, I'm going to say that if they added more of those deep fried onions on there, then it would probably do a lot better justice to it. And further on onto the sandwich, I mean the meat of itself. You saw the size of it. Well, if Arby's could actually increase the size of the sandwich, then that would be fantastic. I mean, literally to the point where it's sticking out around the edges of the bun. The sandwich in my area cost $7 alone. Now, the combo meal, as stated, was, fries and a drink. Small fry and a small drink was $9. I just got the sandwich at $7. So, yeah, in and of itself, the cost was a little high in my opinion, but considering the size of the actual patty and the meat, or the onions and the sauce and the brioche bun, but it's worthwhile. The flavor that came out of it was absolutely wonderful. The sauce complementing it, the onions complementing it, the bun complementing. But if Arby's could increase the size of the patty and add more onions, and, well, maybe even increase the amount of sauce on there, that would be awesome. And that's it for this video. Like and subscribe, share with your friends, and I'll see you next time. Take care.